Okay, there we are. We've got that one. Oh, finally done with the shop for the day. Going through some social media analytics and showing off a few slides. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. Well, if you have any questions about our slides, feel free to ask. Okay, so these all switch to private. That's fun. Oh, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn bars of steel, like this one here, into Glock slides. KO Knives, how's it going? Oh yeah, what you got? 316 stainless. Let's see here. Main alloy elements: iron, chromium, nickel, something I can't pronounce. Excellent corrosion resistance with salt water. Oh, it's an annealed bar, okay. Relatively soft, rated for pros and cons. Good corrosion resistance, outstanding in extreme environments, especially maritime, so that'd probably be good for like California, Florida. Good durability, impact resistance. However, lacks the hardness needed for firearms parts like slides or barrels. Hmm. Tends to gall or cold weld under friction without proper lubrication. Lubrication's not an issue. Depending on and mills, may be more difficult to mill than 416 and 17.4. Okay, but what is the tensile strength? That'll be a good one to know. Tensile strength at 75,000 psi, but with 17.4, 190,000 psi. 3/16 stainless steel may be good for specific gun parts where you need corrosion resistance that do not face significant stress. Okay, so definitely not a barrel, and slide iffy. However, its corrosion resistance is incredibly good around maritime environments. Okay, so it's good for making gun parts that are well, basically not part of the firing mechanism if you're near ocean areas. Let's see, 3/16 stainless compared to 17.4. It might be good for other parts, but based on some of the tensile strength ratings I'm seeing, 17.4 is definitely going to be better for the slide. But the 3/16 has better corrosion resistance than the 17.4, which is really interesting. Oh, Tommy John had a question. Have you ever thought of making a 1911 optic cut or 2011? Yeah, actually, from time to time, we do consider it, Tommy. So far, we have not, but it does come up every now and then, and we might do it someday. Let's see, let's take a look at 17.7. Of course, it still has to be millable to a degree. Like 17.4 is harder to mill than 4/16. It's harder on the tools. So if this is harder, oh, it does have a higher yield strength. Tensile strength is about the same at 200,000 to 200,000 plus. The yield strength for 17.7 is 185,000 psi, whereas 17.4 is 170,000. The Rockwell is the same. Oh, 17.7 has slightly less corrosion than 17.4, but still both roughly the same. Has better fatigue resistance. Both are pretty crappy on weldability. (17.7) better on hardness, fatigue resistance, corrosion resistance. 17.4 beats it out. Machinability. 17.4 is easier. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess it depends on the cost, if they have it available. I'll have to ask them about it, see if we can, see if it's worth it. 17.7 has been used in gun slides, but rarely. And 17.4 listed as industry standard, followed by 4.16. I would say 4.16 is the industry standard because more businesses use 4.16 than 17.4. I mean, 17.4 is better than 4.16, but most businesses use 4.16. High fatigue resistance, excellent spring performance. That's good. Formable stainless with good strength after aging, maximum hardness, proven. Yeah, it looks like 17.7 is doable. So we're looking at recommendations on 17.7. Seems to be recommending it for internal parts over frames or slides. And that's due to its high fatigue resistance. So parts will last a lot longer. Interesting. I wonder if 17.7 will make a good barrel. Fatigue resistance. Let's see. Why or why not? .416 over 17.7 because 416 is easier to drill and rifle. Well, yeah, that makes sense. It's a softer metal. Okay, but why is it... Okay, so it's more of a cost efficiency issue, is that 416 is easier to work with, easier to heat treat. So 17.7 could make a superior barrel if you're willing to spend the time and money into it. Hey, FE Ordnance, what's going on? I probably missed people diving into this, but that's okay. Keeps my brain working. Let's see. Can't pronounce that. Martensitic, hardened through heat treatment. High chromium, vanadium, and can't pronounce that. High corrosion resistance due to chromium. Has carbon for hardness, vanadium for wear resistance. Can't pronounce that. 60 to 62 on the hardness scale. Okay, damn. M390 rivals 316 on knife steel. Okay. M390 at 60 plus HRC is considered great for knives, but is considered too brittle for slides, bolts, and barrels. Additionally, M390 is significantly more costly than 416 or 17.4 for large components like slides or gun frames. That's the word, can't pronounce that. I think Glock uses 4140. FE Ordnance, you still in there? Is Glock using 4140? I think they do. Flying Rich Firearms, what's going on? Okay, Glock does use 4140 steel for some, but its slides use a different steel alloy. Okay, what is said steel alloy? Thank you, Medkit. Thank you very much. Feel free to check out our website, stifflermanufacturing.com. They range from 145 to 270 or so. Hamburger. That's just been a fun joke between Dust and me. If you know, you know. We make them for the Glock 17 and Glock 19 in Gen 3. Is there a live tonight, Rich? It's what, Thursday, isn't it? Oh, definitely will do. I'm enjoying it so far. To be honest, I don't know very much about knife steel. Oh, I guess that's a good question for Definition Knives. Check out Definition Knives if you guys haven't had a chance. Let's see, I wonder, yeah, what steel does Definition Knives use? I'll have to ask him. (14C28). That sounds like I'm looking at coordinates right there. Let's see. 14C28N is considered a great budget knife steel. Okay, is it suitable for firearms though? Let's see. Similar issue as the previous one for the M390. Considered a good steel for knives, but has all the same issues when considering for firearms. We have one with a copper, or not ported barrel. We have one with a copper PVD standard barrel, but we're going to work on getting some copper barrels, T-guns. HCR13 MOV. Weird. Weird designations for knife steels. I don't know. But we do have black slides. We have multiple black slides. And we do have the copper PVD barrels, and we also have black nitride barrels. But you can see what we have at stifflermanufacturing.com. Get some copper PVD ported barrels in. We just don't have them yet. Let's see, what was that other one? The 420. Oh, wait, yeah, let's see here. You asked a question. Let's see. Gun barrels and slides endure rapid pressure cycling of over 20,000 psi, whereas 14C28N is not designed for that. The 14C has poor high temperature stability compared to steels like 416 and 17.4. 14C is tailored for thin, high-performing knife edges, but not thick, load-bearing mechanical parts. Effectively, it just lacks the strength and thermal resistance to be used in critical firearms parts. What was that next one? 420HC? Alright, 420HC. Let's see. 420HC stainless steel is considered a acceptable steel for low stress parts or budget knives, but falls short in categories needed for firearms. Has a lower HRC than the previous two steels, and is considered too soft and wears too easily for parts like slides, barrels, or locking lugs. .420HC would likely wear out too quickly and cause potential catastrophic weapons malfunctions if used in firearms. Well, damn. Ain't doing that. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, what's going on? What was that last one? LC200N? LC200N steel, also known as Z-Finite steel, is excellent for steel and knives in marine environments. It performs even better than 316 stainless steel in saltwater and environments where the steel may come in contact to blood or blood pathogens. Cool. So stabbing. LC200 steel is harder to machine than 17.4 and wears out tools faster, to include carbide. Okay. Let's see. Unconfirmed if it would be a suitable slide part. However, it would not be a suitable barrel. It may, however, be a good steel for internal parts, such as sears, trigger bars, etc. Okay. Stainless dive knives. If it does not rust, it won't hold an edge. If it does rust, it will hold an edge. Man, I'm learning all this knife stuff. Damian Christian, what's going on? Oh, D2 tool steel has a good tensile strength on PSI. Okay. Very high wear resistance. But is difficult to machine. Okay. It is brittle under shock, so therefore not ideal for slides, bolts, or barrels. Hey, Zoku, what's going on? Vanax Super Clean. Vanax is engineered primarily for high-end knife blades, bearings, and corrosive environments. It has a tensile strength of over 250,000 psi. Wow. It is considered better than M390 and comparable or better than LC200. It is considered rust-proof even in saltwater or bloody environments. A con to it is that it is considered prohibitively costly for anything but small specialty parts. Prohibitively. Fucking that word up. Prohibitively. Theoretically could be used as a slide, but is considered too expensive and incredibly hard to machine. No data exists for it being used in gun barrels. Man, we're all just here learning all this stuff. Well, besides all that, does anybody have any questions? I've got these slides hanging out here. We've got SM19 Zoom in Lightning Stencil, this SM19 Hellet in Habanero Red, This old SM-19 Leonidas, a Flash, the Viper in Arctic White, a Turbo in Graphite Black. Feel free to ask any questions or chime in or whatever. Virgil Hutton, what's going on? Hey, Luke. .718 Inco steel. Hey, much appreciated, Orange Smoke. Nickel chromium base super alloy for high strength, excellent corrosion. Aerospace components. Yep, used in aerospace, power generation, the oil and gas industry, marine and naval applications. Sweet. Considered too soft for cutting edges for blades and knives. Too expensive and too hard to machine for gun parts. Ideal for high temperature aerospace and turbine parts. Good for nuclear plants and oil field applications. Extremely corrosive resistant and works well in high stress environments. Nice. Talonite. Oh, was anyone on when I was doing my little road trip through Tucson and such earlier? I was admonished by a police officer. At Pinell County. That was kind of fun. Cobalt chromium alloy. Too soft for gun parts. Has terrible machinability. Very expensive. Not easy to heat treat. Considered too soft and too heavy for gun slides. Too soft and expensive for barrels. And considered a possible use in suppressor parts. Oh, no, I didn't get pulled over. Just someone who was in the chat. I was doing the whole live hands-free. So it's not like I was touching my phone or anything. Hey, Twisty's Gun Show. What's going on, man? Gonzo, what's up? Yeah, as a local Pinell cop just happened to pop into the live. And I was driving out to Colossal Cave, so figured what the heck, show people the Arizona sky. Right on, KO Knives. Thanks for the info, man. Yeah, California sucks. They give you tickets for collecting water. I might join, well, not join, he's got his own thing going on, but I might pop into TLD After Darks live if he starts one tonight. Oh, it was a hot one today. 110 air temp, 120 near the ground. Yeah, 17.7 could be a potential option, though it looks like it's a little harder to machine than 17.4. A little more expensive, so I guess we'd have to convince clients as to why they should buy 17.7. Like, hey, we made these slides out of 17. That's the big sell right there, is how do you convince them they should spend more money over 17.4 or 416? We've got one client that's trying to convince us to do 416, and nah, not right now anyway. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, you're making valid points and logical points. And that's where you're wrong. You were being logical. Let's see. We'll make this one public. Stiffler Manufacturing live on a drive. There's a bunch of other dudes on live too. So I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me at the moment. Ductile, so like how much, or I guess braking. Which means I guess Rock Slide USA is not very ductile. I don't like to shit on other companies, I really don't, but just from what I've seen, I mean, when there's that many people who complain about the slides breaking and cracking and other issues with it, I just... Anyway, moving on. Thank you all for popping in. Oh, what are we at now? We're at 402. Thank you for the subscribes. It's greatly appreciated. Okay, let's save that one. You know, when we hit 1,000, we might do a giveaway, possibly. I don't promise anything, but we might. Once it cools down, we're going to have to go do some range videos because it's a little too hot right now, and the local indoor range won't let us record. But once it cools down, we can go out to the desert. Maybe we can go join RTT Guns and Gear, and we can all go out and just shoot some stuff. No, they didn't explain as to why. Well, they explained why. They didn't go into great detail as to what caused it. So, people did stupid stuff in the past, and so now they just don't let anybody record. Which, I mean, the internet's full of people doing retarded stuff. Not that I'm aware. I have mag dumped while I was there. Mag dumped, dropped it, threw in another mag, and then dumped it again. And they didn't seem to have an issue. I'm trying to convince them to carry some of our slides, actually. Whether on a type of consignment or, you know, for them to buy them, one or the other. And the employees, I let them, you know, anytime I'm going there to test a slide out, anytime I got to go to the range, I'll, you know, get an OEM or get a PSA or Polymer 80, go there to test a slide, and I'll let the employees fire a few rounds off too. They seem to love it. But I can never get a hold of whoever the owner is because they're never in the store. And they never respond to the email, so it's probably a lost cause. Well, you're not wrong there, Fluffy, because we had, what was it, a few years back? Remember that guy who got his girlfriend to dome him with the 50 Action Express, and they thought a dictionary was going to stop it? So there's always somebody doing stupid stuff like that. Then there was the guy that, you know, ripped himself into eternity, did the forever yeet, and then no one found like where his actual location was for hours, and the live stream just kept going and going. So I mean, I get it on some level, but it is. It is natural selection, and the rest of us get punished for it, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. We've got the machining one, we've got the driving one. Which one's this? For those of you that missed our 4th of July sale, we might do a Labor Day one come September, but not 100% on that, but we might. Y'all missed out on some cool slides in red, white, and blue. Oh, that one wasn't bad. Oh, right, that was the morning live I did. Oh, and I did get a bottle of Ghost Dad Tacticals lube, so we're going to try that out. And it does smell like green apples. There we go. I do have to take the Wolf X Pro out and like really torture it though. But it's not. We can't do that at the range. Can't do drop testing at the range. Maybe we could do it at the shop. You know, put some snap caps in it and just. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I'd prefer going out to the desert, but it's too hot and we don't get enough time to do it. There we are. What else do I have in the background? Any of you guys got any busted slides or slides you don't like? Let's see, we've got you. Let's swap you out. The white kind of broke it. There we go. Really wish YouTube was as cool as Grumble. If you know, you know. And I could show some of this stuff. But some tard decided to dome himself via his girlfriend and a 50 cal. That's mean. That's mean of me. We did finish our SM17 turbo slide. For those of you that aren't aware, it is on the website now. And so that is our third 17 slide. After that, we're going to go work on our fourth, which will be the Hellet, which is this one right here. We'll turn this into a 17. And after that, might be the 43. Yeah, Rumble might very well have to deal with that at some point, unfortunately. We are always dealing with the bullshit of other people. Nobody can just be responsible for their own stuff. There we go. Let's put that one up. Save. Oh, and of course, we are selling some of our old slides. So, Fluffy, I can't remember if you were one of the ones that asked, but like our flashes, our Leonidases, and some of our discontinued colors, we're selling those to RB Tactical Market on eBay, and then they are in turn reselling them. And for those of you that are in Arizona, we do have our slides at a few local locations. The hub for Tucson, Mesa, and Lakeside, and Serious Arms in Prescott. I know that comes up every once in a while, but Stiffler Manufacturing does not have a local store. Oh, DLD After Dark is live. Okay, well, that is probably where I'm going to cut it. Hour mark. Feel free to check out our stuff at stifflermanufacturing.com. Feel free to check out our eBay pages. Check out our social media for the most up-to-date news on what we're doing. Thank you all for popping in, and thanks for the likes and subs. It's greatly appreciated. As always, stay away. Definitely, Fluffy, definitely.